U.S. State Psychology Mental Health Organizations and Boards. Chapter 1. U.S. State Psychology Organizations. U.S. State Psychology Organizations 1. alapsych.org, Alabama Psychological Association. dced.state.ak.us/occ/ppsy.hdm, Alaska Board of Psychologist and Psychological Associate Examiners. azpa.org, Arizona Psychological Association. adlerianaz.org, Adlerian Society of Arizona, ASA. aristotle.net/ARPA, Arkansas Psychological Association. psychologists.bc.ca, British Columbia Psychological Association, BCPA, Canada, CA. calpsychlink.org, California Psychological Association. coloradopsych.org, Colorado Psychological Association. conpsych.org, Connecticut Psychological Association. dpsych.org, Delaware Psychological Association. dcpiaonline.org, District of Columbia Psychological Association. flapcch.com, Florida Psychological Association. gapsychology.org, Georgia Psychological Association. hawaiipsych.org, Hawaii Psychological Association. illinoispsychology.org, Illinois Psychological Association. inpsych.com, Indiana Psychological Association. iowapsychology.org, Iowa Psychological Association, IPA. inlandnet.net/KSPsych, Kansas Psychological Association. kpa.org, Kentucky Psychological Association. mepia.org, Maine Psychological Association. mps.mb.ca, Manitoba Psychological Society. Canada, CA. marylandpsychology.org, Maryland Psychological Association. masspsych.org, Massachusetts Psychological Association. mychpsych.org, Michigan Psychological Association. psychologyboard.state.mn.us, Minnesota Board of Psychology, MBP. mnpsych.org, Minnesota Psychological Association, MPA. womenpsychologists.org, Minnesota Women in Psychology, MWP. mpassociation.org, Mississippi Psychological Association. mopcch.org, Missouri Psychological Association. wtp.net/mpa, Montana Psychological Association. nebpsych.org, Nebraska Psychological Association. nhpaonline.org, New Hampshire Psychological Association. psychologynewjersey.org, New Jersey Psychological Association. swcp.com/nmpia, New Mexico Psychological Association. psychreg.health.nsw.gov.au, Psychologists Registration Board of New South Wales, Australia, O. nispa.org, New York State Psychological Association. nfpsych.com, Association of Newfoundland Psychologists, ANP. Canada, CA. ncpsychology.com, North Carolina Psychological Association. apns.ca, Association of Psychologists of Nova Scotia. Canada, CA. opsych.org, Ohio Psychological Association. okpsych.org, Oklahoma Psychological Association. psych.on.ca, Ontario Psychological Association. Canada, CA. opa.org, Oregon Psychological Association. papsy.org, Pennsylvania Psychological Association, PPA. asbpr.org, Asociación de Psicología de Puerto Rico. ordrepsi.qc.ca, Ordre des Psychologues du Québec, Canada, CA. psychologyboard.qld.gov.au, Psychologists Board of Queensland. Australia, O. ripcch.org, Rhode Island Psychological Association. midnet.sc.edu/scpa, South Carolina Psychological Association. scisd.com, South Dakota Psychological Association. sun.soci.niu.edu/SSBP, Southern Society for Philosophy and Psychology, SSPP. tpaonline.org, Tennessee Psychological Association, TPA. texaspsych.org, Texas Psychological Association, TPA. BiharPsych.org, Bihar County Psychological Association, BCPA. SanAntonio.gov style equals text decoration, none, San Antonio, Texas, TX. UtahPsych.org, Utah Psychological Association. central-vt.com/web/VPA, Vermont Psychological Association. psychreg.vic.gov.au, Psychologists Registration Board of Victoria, PRVB, Australia, O. vapcch.org, Virginia Psychological Association. wapcch.org, Washington State Psychological Association. plboards.state.wy.us/psychology/index.asp, Wyoming Board of Psychology. wypsych.org, Wyoming Psychological Association. U.S. State Psychology Organizations 2. alapsych.org, Alabama Psychological Association. ak-pa.org, Alaska Psychological Association. azpa.org, Arizona Psychological Association. arpapsych.org, Arkansas Psychological Association. calpsychlink.org, California Psychological Association. coloradopsych.org, Colorado Psychological Association. conpsych.org, Connecticut Psychological Association. dpsych.org, Delaware Psychological Association. dcpsychology.org, District of Columbia Psychological Association. flapcch.com, Florida Psychological Association. gapsychology.org, Georgia Psychological Association. hawaiipsych.org, Hawaii Psychological Association. idahopsych.org, Idaho Psychological Association. illinoispsychology.org, Illinois Psychological Association. indianapsychologist.org/displaycommon.cfm?1 Indiana Psychological Association. iowapsychology.org, Iowa Psychological Association. kspsych.org, Kansas Psychological Association. kpa.org Psychological Association. louisianapsychologist.org, Louisiana Psychological Association. mepia.org, Maine Psychological Association. marylandpsychology.org, Maryland Psychological Association. masspsych.org, Massachusetts Psychological Association. mychpsych.org Psychological Association. mnpsych.org Psychological Association. mpassociation.org Psychological Association. mopcch.org, Missouri Psychological Association. wtp.net/mpa, Montana Psychological Association. nepsych.org, Nebraska Psychological Association. nevadapsychologists.org, Nevada State Psychological Association. nhpaonline.org, New Hampshire Psychological Association. psychologynewjersey.org, New Jersey Psychological Association. nmpia.com, New Mexico Psychological Association. nispa.org, New York State Psychological Association. ncpsychology.com, North Carolina Psychological Association. opsych.org, Ohio Psychological Association. okpsych.org, Oklahoma Psychological Association. opa.org, Oregon Psychological Association. papsy.org, Pennsylvania Psychological Association. ripcch.org, Rhode Island Psychological Association. scpa.affphoeniscape.com, South Carolina Psychological Association. psysd.org, South Dakota Psychological Association. tpaonline.org, Tennessee Psychological Association. TexasPsych.org, Texas Psychological Association. cfd45.cfdynamics.com/nexuscomputer/upa/index.cfm, Utah Psychological Association. VermontPsych.org, Vermont Psychological Association. vapcch.org, Virginia Psychological Association. wapsych.org, Washington State Psychological Association. wvpsychology.org, West Virginia Psychological Association. wipsychology.org, Wisconsin Psychological Association. wypsych.org, Wyoming Psychological Association. Chapter 2. U.S. State Psychology Boards. State Psychology Boards 1. Psychology.state.al.us, Alabama State Psychology Board. commerce.alaska.gov/web/cbpl/professional licensing/board of psychologists.aspx, Alaska Psychology Board. psychboard.az.gov, Arizona Board of Psychologist Examiners. psychologyboard.arkansas.gov, Arkansas State Psychology Board. psychboard.ca.gov, California State Psychology Board. colorado.gov/pacific/dora/psychologist, Colorado Psychologist Examiners Board. ct.gov/dph/cwp/view.asp?31438%q=3889338%dphnavy_git=1830, Connecticut Psychologist Licensing. dpr.delaware.gov/boards/psychology/index.shtml, Delaware State Psychology Board. floridapsychology.gov, Florida State Psychology Board. sos.ga.gov/index.php/licensing/plb/44, Georgia State Psychology Board. cca.hawaii.gov/pvl/boards/psychology, Hawaii Psychology Licensing. ebol.idaho.gov/ebol/boardpage.aspx Bureau =psych, Idaho State Board of Psychologist Examiners. idfpr.com/prof/psych.asp, Illinois Psychology Licensing. in.gov/pla/psych.htm, Indiana Psychology Board. idph.state.ia.us/licensure/board_home.asp?board=psych, Iowa State Psychology Board Examiners. ksbsrb.org/psychologists.html, Kansas Behavioral Sciences Regulatory Board. psy.ky.gov/pages/default.aspx State Psychology Board. lsbep.org, Louisiana Psychology Board. maine.gov/pfr/professional licensing/professions/psychologists/index.htm, Maine Psychologists Licensing. dhmh.maryland.gov/psych1/pages/home.aspx, Maryland State Psychology Board. mass.gov/dpl/boards/py/index.htm, Massachusetts Board of Registration in Psychology. michigan.gov/lara/0,4601, 7-154-35299_63294_27529_27552, 00.html Psychology Board. psychologyboard.state.mn.us Psychology Board. psychologyboard.state.ms.us/pages/default.aspx Board of Psychologist Examiners. pr.mo.gov/psychologists.asp, Missouri State Committee of Psychologists. bsd.li.mt.gov/license/bsd_board/board_page.asp, Montana Board of Psychologist Examiners. dhhs.ne.gov/publichealth/pages/crl_mhcs_psych_psych.aspx, Nebraska Psychology Licensing. psyexam.state.nv.us, Nevada Psychological Examiners Board. state.nh.us/mhpb/index.html, New Hampshire Board of Mental Health Practice. New Jersey Consumer Affairs.gov/psy, New Jersey Board of Psychological Examiners. rld.state.nm.us/boards/psychologist_examiners.aspx, New Mexico Psychologist Examiners Board. op.nicd.gov/prof/psych, New York Psychology Licensing. ncpsychologyboard.org, North Carolina Psychology Board. ndsbpe.org/index.html, North Dakota Psychology Board. psychology.ohio.gov, Ohio Board of Psychologist Examiners. obpe.state.or.us, Oregon Board of Psychologist Examiners. dos.pa.gov/professional licensing/boards commissions/psychology/pages/default.aspx, Pennsylvania Psychology Board. health.ri.gov/licenses/detail.php?ID=241, Rhode Island Board of Psychology. llr.state.sc.us/pol/psychology/index.asp, South Carolina Psychology Board. dss.sd.gov/licensing boards/psych.aspx, South Dakota Board of Psychologist Examiners. tn.gov/health/topic/psych-board, Tennessee Psychology Board. tsbep.state.tx.us/index.html, Texas Board of Psychologist Examiners. dopl.utah.gov/licensing/psychology.html, Utah Psychologist Licensing Board. sec.vt.us/professional-regulations/list-of-professions/psychological-examiners.aspx, Vermont Psychology Board. dhp.virginia.gov/psychology, Virginia Board of Psychologist Examiners. doh.wa.gov/licenses, permits and certificates/professions, new renewer update/psychologist, Washington Board of Psychologist Examiners. wvpsychbd.org, West Virginia Board of Examiners of Psychologist. dsps.wi.gov/licenses, permit s registrations/credentialing-division-home-page/health-professions/psychologist, Wisconsin Psychologist Licensing. plboards.state.wi.us/psychology/index.asp, Wyoming Board of Psychologist Examiners.state. State Psychology Boards 2. Alabama. Alabama Board of Examiners in Psychology. Greer L. Burns, Executive Officer. 660 Adams Avenue, Suite 360. Montgomery, Alabama 36104. 334-242-4127. Psychology.state.al.us. Alabama Board of Examiners in Psychology. The State of Alabama Board of Examiners in Psychology. Psychology.state.al.us. Alaska. Alaska Board of Psychologist and Psychological Associate Examiners. POB 110806. Juneau, Alaska 99811-0806. Phone 907-465-3811. commerce.alaska.gov/web/cbpl/professional licensing/board of psychologists.aspx. Arizona. Arizona Board of Psychologist Examiners. 1400 W. Washington, Suite 235. Phoenix, Arizona 85007. Phone 602-542-3095. psychboard.az.gov. Arkansas Board of Examiners in Psychology. Arkansas Board of Examiners in Psychology. arkansas.gov/abp. California. California Board of Psychology. 1422 Howe Avenue, Suite 22. Sacramento, California 95825-3200. Phone 916-263-2696. State of California Board of Psychology. The State of California Board of Psychology. psychboard.ca.gov. Psychiatric Technician Licensee. $. breeze.ca.gov/datamart/search-by-name.do. Colorado. Colorado Board of Psychologist Examiners. 1560 Broadway, Suite 1370. Denver, Colorado 80202. Phone 303-894-7770. dora.state.co.us/mental-health. dora.state.co.us/mental-health/PSY. Connecticut Licensing Information Center. ct-clic.com/agency/license.asp $agit $19$view $all $p=none. Delaware Board of Examiners and Psychologists. The State of Delaware Board of Examiners and Psychologists. Professional licensing.state.de.us/boards/psychology/index.html. District of Columbia Department of Health. District of Columbia's Department of Health website, Psychology Licensee Search Engine. app.hpla.doh.dc.gov/web lookup. Florida Board of Psychology. floridapsychology.gov. Georgia State Board of Examiners of Psychologists. State of Georgia's Board of Examiners and Psychologists. sos.ga.gov/index.php/licensing/plb/44. State of Hawaii Department of Commerce and Consumer Affairs, Psychology. hawaii.gov/dcca/areas/pvl/boards/psychology. State of Idaho Board of Psychologists Examiners. State of Idaho Board of Psychologists Examiners. ebol.idaho.gov/ebol/boardpage.aspx?bureau=sign Illinois. Illinois Clinical Psychologists Licensing and Disciplinary Committee. Department of Professional Regulation. 320 West Washington Street 3rd floor. Springfield, Illinois 62786. Phone 217-785-0800. idfpr.com. Iowa. Iowa Board of Psychology Examiners. Department of Public Health. 321 East 12th Street Lucas State Office Building. 4th floor. Des Moines, Iowa 50319-0075. Phone 515-242-5936. psychcentral.com. Kansas. Kansas Behavioral Sciences Regulatory Board. 712 South Kansas Avenue. Topeka, Kansas 66603-3817. Phone 785-296-3240. ksbsrb.org. Massachusetts. Massachusetts Board of Registration of Psychologists. Division of Registration. 239 Causeway Street. Boston, Massachusetts 02114. Phone 617-727-9925. mass.gov/ocabr/licensee/dpl-boards/py. Minnesota. Minnesota Board of Psychology. 2829 University Avenue Southeast Suite 320. St. Paul, Minnesota 55414-3237. Phone 612-617-2230. mn.gov/boards/psychology. Missouri. Missouri State Committee of Psychologists. 3605 Missouri Boulevard. POB 1335. Jefferson City, Missouri 65102-1335. Phone 573-751-0099. Scop at pr.mo.gov. pr.mo.gov/psychologists.asp. New Hampshire. New Hampshire Board of Mental Health Practice. 105 Pleasant Street, Room 204C. Concord, New Hampshire 03301. Phone 603-271-6762. nh.gov/mhpb. New York. New York State Board for Psychology. NYS Education Department. Cultural EDUC. CTR. Room 3041. Albany, New York 12230. Phone 518-474-3866. op.nicd.gov/prof/psych. Ohio. Ohio State Board of Psychology. 77 South High Street. 18th FL. Columbus, Ohio 43266-0321. Phone 614-466-8808. Psychology.ohio.gov. Oklahoma. Oklahoma State Board of Examiners of Psychologists. 421 Northwest 13th Street, Suite 180. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma 73103. 405/522-1333. ok.gov/psychology. Oregon. Oregon State Board of Psychologist Examiners. 3218 Pringle Road. SE, STE 130. Salem, Oregon 97302-6309. Phone 503-378-4154. licenseinfo.oregon.gov/?fuseaction=welcome_keyword. South Carolina. South Carolina Board of Examiners in Psychology. POB 11329. Columbia, South Carolina 29211-1329. Phone 803-896-4664. llr.state.sc.us/pol/psychology. South Dakota. Psychologist Examiners. 810 North Main St. Suite 298. Spearfish, South Dakota 57783. Phone 605-642-1600. Fax 605-722-1006. proflic@rushmore.com. dss.sd.gov/licensingboard/psych.aspx. State of Iowa Board of Psychology Examiners. State of Iowa Board of Psychology Examiners. idph.iowa.gov/licensure/iowa-board-of-psychology. State of Louisiana Board of Examiners of Psychologists. State of Louisiana Board of Examiners of Psychologists. lsbep.org. State of Maryland Board of Examiners of Psychologists. State of Maryland Board of Examiners of Psychologists. dhmh.maryland.gov/psych/pages/home.aspx. State of Michigan Board of Psychology. michigan.gov/lara/0,4601, 7-154-35999_63229/27529_27552-59190, 00.html. State of Minnesota Board of Psychology. mn.gov/health-licensing-board/psychology/licensees. State of Mississippi Board of Psychology. State of Mississippi Board of Psychological Examiners. psychologyboard.ms.gov/pages/default.aspx. State of Montana Board of Psychologists. State of Montana Board of Psychologists. bsd.dli.mt.gov/license/bsd_board/psy_board/board_page.asp. State of Nebraska Health and Human Services System Board of Examiners of Psychologists. The State of Nebraska Board of Examiners of Psychologists. dhhs.ne.gov/publichealth/pages/crl_mhcs_psych_psych.aspx. State of Nevada Board of Psychological Examiners. 4600 Kayetsk Lane, B116 Reno, Nevada 89502. psyexam.nv.gov. State of New Hampshire Board of Mental Health Practice. nh.gov/mhpb/index.html. State of New Jersey Board of Psychological Examiners. The State of New Jersey Board of Psychological Examiners. state.nj.us/lps/ca/medical.htm number sign Psi 13. State of New Mexico Board of Psychologist Examiners. rld.state.nm.us/boards/psychologist_examiners.aspx. State of North Carolina Psychology Board. nccpsychologyboard.org. State of North Dakota Board of Psychologists Examiners. governor.state.nd.us/boards-query.asp?board_id=88. State of Oklahoma Board of Examiners of Psychologists. okmedicalboard.org. State of Oregon Board of Psychologist Examiners. obpe.state.or.us. State of Pennsylvania Board of Psychology. dos.state.pa.us/bpoa/cwp/view.asp?marka=1104%q=433051. State of Rhode Island Board of Psychology. sos.ri.gov/open meetings/question mark page=view_entity&id=288. State of Utah Psychological Association Board. utpsych.org. State of Vermont Secretary of State, Board of Psychological Examiners. secure.vtprofessionals.org/lookup/license-lookup.aspx. The State of Virginia Board of Psychology. dhp.virginia.gov/mylicense/renewalintro.asp. State of Washington Psychology Board. doh.wa.gov/licenses permits and certificates/professions new renewer update/psychologist.aspx. The State of Wisconsin Psychology Licensing Board. drl.wi.gov/profession.asp?prof ID=44 los ID=0. Tennessee Board of Examiners in Psychology. 426 5th Avenue North. Cordell Hull Building, 1st floor. Nashville, Tennessee 37247-1010. Phone, 615-532-5127. tn.gov/health/topic/psych-board. Texas State Board of Examiners of Psychologists. 333 Guadalupe, Tower 2, Room 450. Austin, Texas 78701. Phone, 512-305-7700. tsbep.state.tx.us. The West Virginia Board of Examiners of Psychologists. The State of West Virginia Psychologists Licensure. wvpsychbd.org. Utah Psychologist Licensing Board. Division of Occupational and Professional Licensing. 160 E300S, Box 146741. Salt Lake City, Utah 84114-6741. Phone, 801-530-6628. dopl.utah.gov/licensing/psychology.html. Virginia Board of Psychology. 6606 West Broad St. 5th floor. Richmond, Virginia 23230-1717. Phone, 804-662-9913. secure-1.virginia-interactive.org/dhp/cgi-bin/search_public-db.cgi. Wisconsin. Wisconsin Psychology Examining Board. Department of Regulation and Licensing. Bureau of Health Service Professions. epub 8935. Madison, Wisconsin 53708-8935. Phone 608-267-7223. drl.wi.gov/index.htm. Wyoming. Wyoming State Board of Psychology. 2020 Cary Avenue No. 201. Cheyenne, Wyoming 82002. Phone 307-777-6529. dbridge@state.wy.us. plboards.state.wy.us/psychology/index.asp. Chapter 3. State Mental Health Agencies. State Mental Health Agency websites. mh.state.al.us, Alabama Department of Mental Health and Mental Retardation. alaska.net/MB, Alaska Mental Health Board. hs.state.az.us/bhs/index.htm, Arizona Division of Behavioral Health Services. state.ar.us/dhs/dmhs, Arkansas Division of Behavioral Health Services. dmh.cahwnet.gov, California Department of Mental Health. cdhs.state.co.us/dmh, Colorado Division of Mental Health. dmhes.state.ct.us, Connecticut Department of Mental Health. state.de.us/dhss/dsamh/dmhhome.htm, Delaware Division of Substance Abuse and Mental Health. dmh.dc.gov/maine.shtm, District of Columbia Department of Mental Health. dcf.state.fl.us/mental health, Florida Mental Health Services. mhdad.dhr.georgia.gov/portal/site, Georgia Division of Mental Health. hawaii.gov/health/mental-health, Hawaii Mental Health Services. health_an-welfare.idaho.gov/alias_rainbow/lang__and-us/tabid_underscore_underscore-and-us/Idaho Mental Health Program. dhs.state.il.us/mhdd/mh, Illinois Mental Health Services. in.gov/fss/service mental, Indiana Division of Mental Health and Addiction. dhs.state.ia.us/mhdd, Iowa Division of Mental Health and Developmental Disabilities. srskansas.org/hcp/mh, maine.htm, Kansas Mental Health Program. dhh.state.las/omh, Louisiana Office of Mental Health. state.me.us/dmhmrsa, Maine Behavioral and Developmental Services. dhmh.state.md.us/mha/index.htm, Maryland Mental Hygiene Administration. mass.gov/portal/index.jsp page ID =EAHS2 Agency Landing &L =4 &L0 Home &L1 Government &L2 Departments +& Divisions &L3 Department of Mental Health &SID EAHS2, Massachusetts Department of Mental Health. Michigan.gov/MDCH/0,160,7-132-2944868,00.html, Michigan Mental Health and Disability Services. dhs.state.mn.us/main/groups/disabilities/documents/pub/DHS_ID_00085.hcsb, Minnesota Mental Health Division. dmh.state.ms.us, Mississippi Department of Mental Health. dmh.missouri.gov, Missouri Department of Mental Health. dphs.state.mt.us/about_us/divisions/addictive_disorders/addictive_mental_disorders.htm, Montana Addictive and Mental Disorders Division. hhs.state.ne.us/beh/mhsa.htm, Nebraska Mental Health, Substance Abuse and Addiction Services. mhds.state.nv.us, Nevada Division of Mental Health and Developmental Services. dhhs.state.nh.us/dhhs/programs +sign services/topic.htm $?selection item =$22, New Hampshire Mental Health Programs. state.nj.us/human services/dmhs/index.html, New Jersey Mental Health Services. health.state.nm.us, New Mexico Department of Health. omh.state.ny.us, New York Office of Mental Health. dhhs.state.nc.us/mhddsas, North Carolina Mental Health Programs. state.nd.us/human services/services/mental health/index.html, North Dakota Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services. mh.state.oh.us, Ohio Department of Mental Health. odmhsas.org, Oklahoma Department of Mental Health. dhs.state.or.us/mental health, Oregon Mental Health Services. dpw.state.pa.us/disable/mental health services, Pennsylvania Mental Health Services. mhrh.state.ri.us, Rhode Island Department of Mental Health. state.sc.us/dmh, South Carolina Department of Mental Health. state.sd.us/dhs/dmh/index.htm, South Dakota Division of Mental Health. state.tn.us/mental, Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Developmental Disabilities. mhmr.state.tx.us, Texas Mental Health Services. dsamh.utah.gov/substance abuse treatment.htm, Utah Division of Substance Abuse and Mental Health. state.vt.us/dmh, Vermont Department of Developmental and Mental Health Services. dshs.wa.gov/mental health, Washington State Mental Health Division. wvdhr.org/bhhf, West Virginia Bureau for Behavioral Health. dhfs.state.wi.us/bqa consumer/aoda_mh/aoda_mh index.htm, Wisconsin Mental Health Services. mentalhealth.state.wy.us, Wyoming Mental Health Division.